Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is. I'm going to develop a couple characters. Um, I've been paying attention to a new saint. His name is Saint Charbel. Now, if you're French, you spell it with a C. If you're Italiano, you spell it with an S. It's well known as spelt with an S, Charbel. And he's a very popular saint in the world. We don't know much about him in the United States. I've never heard of him until just recently. But this is a very holy monk, priest, hermit. Boy, he hit every spot when I heard about him. He even looks like me. I'll prove it. I'll prove it. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get in character here. Now, now Saint Charbel never looked in the camera. He never looked in the face of everybody. The only time he ever looked up was if he was thinking about God and an apparition. He's looking up and there was a beatific vision in front of him or something. That's the only time he ever really looked up that anybody ever noticed. But he usually walked around looking. I think he was looking at a crucifix or something in his hand. Maybe a picture of Jesus. Here, let me say that. Here's what I'd like. Right? Now, if I was going to do this character, and let's see. He looks I'm going by memory now. I'll find a picture of him. I'll post it. But right now, this is just a tape. I don't even know if I post it. If it's good enough, I'll post it. Okay, let me in here. Okay, all right, there you go. Okay, yeah, that type of look. And he was always looking down. So you know what I'm looking at when I'm looking down. I'm gonna, for the rest of this video right here, just while I'm playing his part. Oh, a little bit of blue Blessed Mother's creeping through there. He had a big devotion to Blessed Mother. Eucharist, like me, I just can't believe it. And I found somebody that's like-minded. What does that mean? I didn't even know he looked like the guy. But he likes all the stuff I like. Eucharist and the Holy Mother. He's celibate. I'm not a priest, but I'm a Eucharistic minister. So it's kind of like psychiatrists would have a field day with this. How many personalities does this man have? Look at my videos. I've got a personality for every video. And my pleading video was my real deep down inner self. When I was crying, that was my heart. That was my heart. When I think with my heart or pray with my heart, I start crying. It's weird. That's who I am. That's why I have to be a hermit, kind of like hermitage. My wife and I she's a hermitess and I'm a hermit. And we're living together, celibate. 23 years, but 53 years total as a married couple. But we've been living celibate for 23 years since she had her hysterectomy and diabetes took over and really did a job on her. So we're both now living together, you know, like, I mean, we're not homosexuals. See, that's one of the mistakes that is about homosexuals is that they live together. And Susan, I would like to have privacy. Oh, I can meditate because right now, when you're staring at me when I'm talking and stuff, I lose track of thought. I gotta think with my heart, and I can't do that when you're staring at me. Change my topic. She doesn't want me to talk about homosexuals. She knows I was molested when I was a child. So, I was a teenager. Child. First time I was 7 years old. Molested. And then 8, 9, 10. And I broke my arm. I was doing things that wasn't quite right, I guess, because I broke my arm at 10 years old. And somebody was trying to tell me that something was going on that was wrong. And I didn't know. I'm just a young kid. You know, here, watch me do my thing. I'll give you 8 quarters. Oh, yeah? Poor as dirt poor. Glad to find a dime on the street corner. On the ground or something. Somebody dropped when I got in the car or something. How dirt poor I was. My dad made $60 a week. My mom didn't work. We lived on surplus food from the government. And I mean, my dad only made $60 a week as a mechanic in the gas station. What are you gonna do with 5 kids? I'm the oldest. I remember one Christmas I told my mom, don't go buy stuff for the Mikey and Jimmy and Terry and Mary stuff. Don't buy anything for me. Just make me a pumpkin pie. I'll be happy. Pumpkin pie on Christmas morning. Oh, yeah. I was looking forward to that pumpkin pie, too. And I got up, and there it was. Great big, huge 12-inch, big one. Pumpkin pie, wow. That was my Christmas present. That's all I wanted. I ate the whole thing before anybody got up. I ate the whole. My mother says, oh, she says, we were hoping you were going to share that with us today at dinner. And I says to myself, boy, I wish I did, because I'm sicker than a dog right now. So here I am on Christmas morning, sicker than a dog, because I ate the whole pumpkin pie. I learned my lesson, didn't I? Yeah, I saw that pumpkin pie. I was starving. I'm going to eat every bit of it. It's mine. I'm not going to give it to nobody. I learned a lesson. Young age. I don't know how old I was. Old enough to remember, I guess. But anyways, that's just one of the Christmas stories. And then after that, let's see. I don't know. I was kind of like a normal kid. I played Little League, baseball. I was a problem child in school. I was always looking out the window and daydreaming. Didn't realize that someday I'd be a teacher, teaching school. Oh my God, if I would have thought that back then, I wouldn't know. I was trying to get adopted by somebody in a different country or something. When I was a kid, School, I hated school. Yeah, well, they used to be able to whack you. And I was whackable a lot of times. A lot of times. Get in the back of that closet right now. I already warned you twice. That's the third time. Get back there. Oh, I go back there. And it was a woman. She made it sound like I was being massacred, tortured. Whack, whack, whack. So all the rest of the kids in the class could hear I was the example. This is what happens when you act up in my class. Wow, wow, bang, bang. And I'm faking. Oh, there it's all done. Oh, I'm playing the game. Because I used to get beat by a Marine, my dad. And they don't fool around. Get out there and cut a branch off a tree. Bring it in here. And don't make it a little whippy little teeny thing. Skinny one. I want a thick one. You go out there and you find yourself a nice inch branch, and realizing I'm cutting this branch off this tree and he's going to be beating me with it. No, shit. So I cut it off the tree, bring it back in, he skins it all down, everything, he starts going to town on me. This is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. And I says, who told you that? In my brain. Yeah. My brother Mike, the same. Mike and I. Jimmy escaped. Jimmy was the youngest. He got beat up by us too, so my dad relented on him. He's getting enough from his brothers. What the heck? Oh, I love my family, even though they're a bunch of narcissists. I mean, really serious narcissists. And except for my sister Terry and her husband. I don't know about my sister Mary and her husband because I've never met her husband personally. I don't even know. They don't even call me or anything. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm a Catholic and she had to leave Catholic Church because of her first marriage, but he died. Oh, she's free. What's the matter? Now. But there was a lot of resentment back then because I was Catholic and I was married and doing it the Catholic way and all that other stuff. And she couldn't help her husband cheated on her. Went and got a night job someplace in a big IBM. Started fooling around on her. He tried to get me to go do it too. And he says, got me in the car and said, I got these two girls. Hey, you want to go? You want to go? And I says, what? I says, you do that? I says, if I ever catch you doing that to my sister, I'll knock you out cold. And that's when I was boxed. Back in the days when I was in good shape and everything. And he never liked me after that. Never wanted me over to the house. Never wanted me around his children or anything. And Mary, she went along with it too. Who knows? I pounded on her when she was a young kid too. We all pounded on each other. But I'm not looking at it like, okay, well, that's what kids do. I remember when I was a real young kid, first time ever being naked. Everybody's naked, and we all get together and huddle, and you feel kind of a strange feeling now. Everybody's naked. We take baths together. When I wear his socks, he wears my socks. Things like that. That's the way children are. You got to go through all that. And that's what happened with me. I went through with my they saw it different. They saw life a lot different. Through their eyes, I was the boss. You know what I mean? I was the big brother. And it was only a couple of years. But when you're young like that, a couple of years is a couple of years. And, my sister, poor sister, she had to do all the chores. She did all the cleaning. She did all the cooking. She did everything. And my mother was sick. She was sick. She had narcolepsy and sleeping disorder, and she had emotional problems too because of my father. My father was, he was a hard man, real hard man. So he's an MP. He puts you in a clink and he turns the key. He's a turnkey. They call him a turnkey. MP turnkey. Hey, that rhymes. MP turnkey. Says, there you go. You're in jail and you ain't getting out until it's the end of your time. And be prepared to get drilled real hard because that's what we do day and night and day. So you don't ever want to come back to this place. I got that. I experienced that. The buses went on strike in San Francisco, and I couldn't make it back to the ship. The morning, there was couldn't hitchhike. It was against the law to hitchhike. Plus, there was a guy out there killing hitchhikers. He was knifing them to death, and they were having a big thing about hitchhiking. No, I couldn't hitchhike, and I called up the ship and I told them, hey, the buses went on strike. Somebody got them over here and get me. I don't want to be gone. I want to be back for ship movement because ship movement was 17 days. You had to go out. Oh, this young guy in there, and he says, you better get back here because we're going to leave, so I better get going. I got to get going. Come on, bye, see you. Never logged me in or anything. Didn't put it in the books or anything. So I end up hitchhiking. I get there, and the ship is going over the horizon. What a weird feeling that was. There goes my ship, 17 days on maneuvers. It's over the horizon. What am I going to do? I ain't going to go down there and tell the MPs they'll just stick me in jail until he comes, and then I got my wife there at the house. And what are we going to do? Because I'm right now I'm AWOL. I'm AWOL. I just got back from Vietnam. The buses go on strike. And now I'm AWOL. I mean, who's setting me up? Man, I'm down here being set up. So I'm going to confessions and communion, and I'm in with the church and all that. While I'm doing this, the priest on the ship was my best friend. He's the one that told me what to do, how to get back on the ship, and write the letter out and everything. Well, I wrote a beautiful letter and all that. They never read it. The captain, when I went to captain's mass, the guy who does the research had an attitude against me. So there are a bunch of guys like that in the service. And I'm just going to take on. We'll fix this ass wipe or whatever they want to call me. So I'm home with my wife for 17 days because I didn't go back to the MPs. I went hitchhiked it back and stayed there 17 days. MPs came to my house, and I'd already left to get back to the ship. It was time to get back to the ship because I already talked to the priest on the phone, and I said mass every day with him. I was the altar server. I was his altar boy for the mass. It was on a big aircraft carrier, USS Midway. And I come back from Vietnam, and I was just, God, you wouldn't believe what. Anyways, he was a good friend of mine. He knew everything about me and all that. So he says, well, you come back in and you sign that paper, tell him what happened and everything, and present it to the captain's mast because you're officially AWOL because you missed ship's movement. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. Our ship. Buses went on strike, San Francisco. The buses go on strike. I don't know what that did to me. I wonder what it did to a lot of other people too. But anyway, so I wrote the whole thing out. My wife and I, this and that. She's got a job in a hospital here now in San Francisco. We got an apartment, and we got bikes that we ride on Sundays and weekends. I come home on the weekends and we ride to Golden Gate Park and on our bikes down to the ocean and back. They got the Fillmore West there with the music and all that. We go Saturday night to that. Stuff like that. All kinds of stuff. Mostly with the bikes and sightseeing. We did. Buses. Good bus system in San Francisco. But anyways, my wife had a job at a hospital. She was a ward clerk. And she made okay. She made pretty halfway decent money, so. And the buses went on strike. I brought the letter in. I handed it in. I handed myself in. And, okay, you're on the ship until captain's mask. I don't know how long it took for that. A couple of days or more, or whatever. And captain's mask is what they call the court. No, I had to go to court, and I presented my case. I thought, well, I told my whole story here. I wrote it out. Hey, guys, Captain, he don't have time to read that stuff. He wanted me to tell him what happened. And I, like a stupid moron, I says, well, I wrote it down, everything that happened. I wasn't good at talking in front of people at that time in my life. I didn't know, I had it in my head what happened if I would have known how to do that, because I had practiced like 101 speech or something, where you write something out and then that shows you how you can remember what to say when you go to say public speaking or something. You can look back at your references and get your mind back on that train of thought and all that. That's how I do it in the business world. But in my world, in this pretend world that I have right now, I am developing characters. And this is my Saint Charbel character. Saint Charbel. Okay, he was a saint. Very popular saint with the, what do they call him? Oh, it will come to me. You have to search him out. He was Syrian or something. And he was a very, probably 30,000 miracles have been attributed to him. One of the greatest saints of our time. I never heard of him till this year. Till maybe a month ago or two. I never heard of Saint Charbel. And so I looked at him. And I had a little picture of him. He had a thing, a hood on like this, looking down, and he's looking down, He's looking down, and that's the way he is. I said, yeah, I look something like him. He loves God. Yeah, he loves Jesus. He loves the Blessed Mother. Strong devotion to the Blessed Mother. I do. I have songs written to her. I'm going to sing a couple of them. I'm going to sing a couple songs right after I get done making this tape. But I just want to show you that I'm making characters. And I'm just not some guy on the internet, I'm an actor. I'm an amateur actor, retired. I was never a professional anything, except for business world. I was a professional school teacher, New York State certified, and I was a real estate agent, and also I got my broker's license, became a broker, and I had a good time. I learned a lot of lessons. Oh, the people in power. I had a situation once, it was my 15th year, or 13th year, and 15 years you had to be, for 15 years they had this new law that all the real estate agents got together that were been there for a long time, and they got with their agents and all that. They made a law that if you've been there 15 years and voted on it, that you didn't have to go to school anymore, because they school you to death as a real estate agent. I mean, you have to have 22 credit hours college course stuff. I took a lot of cottage courses, and you're just continuing education with real estate, and they don't care if you've already taken a course. They want you to take it again because you got to fulfill your requirement 22 hours every 2 years. So they got that removed. And I was 13 years and they were 15 years. Then immediately the next year, it came back into law. They couldn't do it, but the people who got in on it were grandfathered it in. And they're the ones that instigated the whole thing. And, oh, well, we're sorry for all you people who've been here 13, 14 years and didn't get the 15 years in and be, so you don't have to go to school anymore. Well, you need to go to school. They needed to reinstate that. I'm not saying it, but that's how the system works. And I'm aware of that. And it not only works in that case, it works. The guy who built the engine that ran on H2O. Here's another story. And, what else can you do? You come up with all kinds of new technologies, and if it's rocking the boat, if it's going to disturb the purse, the people, the investors, the people in oil and all that, you're going to put them out of business? They're the billionaires. They're the ones with all the money. You're going to put them out of business with an H2O engine? Good luck. That was swept under the rug. And then Fatima, Blessed Mother at Fatima, shows people are sopping wet, drenched in the rain. And suddenly the sky opens up and the sun shines. And it starts dancing around the sky like God's playing basketball. Yeah, there you go. Throwing it there. Yeah. Playing basketball with the sun. 80,000 people are watching it. He throws it, and it comes right down. And it stops. And then it goes back up. And then everybody's looking around at themselves and looking at the ground and looking at themselves, and they're all dry as a bone. They're all dry. Sopping wet people, all dry. 80,000 of them witnessed that great miracle of Fatima. Yeah, 80,000 people. And it was what? Swept under the rug. Yeah. And that wasn't for money gain, I don't think, either. That was to get your soul. He not only wants to control you with all the money and everything, he wants your soul too. And he'll get it if he can. If you let him. I fight. I fight and I fight. I was an amateur boxer when I first announced Christ in my corner. God in my corner. It's an article. You can get it in the press. 50 some years ago. 1971. So I don't know what month it was. February, somewhere around here. And I won the Golden Gloves. And they did a newspaper article on me. Says, who's your trainer? Who trains you and everything? I says, no, I don't have a trainer. I says, God is in my corner. God's my trainer. God. I'm just a tough kid off the street. I come up the hard way. Got my butt kicked more than I deserve to have it kicked. That's for sure. But I'm no stranger to getting my butt kicked. And I did some butt kicking. But you always get back what you give. Remember that. That's the truth. Whatever you give, you get. Sooner or later. Unless you're Mike Tyson. The cow. I was watching this other guy. What was his name? I can't remember his name. But there was a lot of tough guys. Came up the hard way. Now they're old. Their noses are flat on their face. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that fight. Oh yeah, oh that was a tough fight. Yeah, I remember that. That type of thing. Was it all worth it being the champion? God in my corner. God in my corner, I said. And I didn't know what I was talking about because God was in my corner. Everybody thought, oh, he's going to have God as his trainer. Oh, it's the Blessed Mother. I'm going to show the number 5. This is round 5. You know, all laughing at me like a big joke. Oh, okay, I'm young, stupid, God in my corner. I went out. I wouldn't fight anybody unless they had a title. I fought a lot of pros, state champions too. My age, same shape, same speed, everything. I just never turned pro. But I fought a lot of them in the gym with headgear on and heavier gloves and stuff. But we had some battles. I had people stood up and clapped. That's how good it was to be an amateur, but with the pros. I'm a professional amateur, really. And anybody that had a title, national champion, Marvin Johnson's brother Henry was the All Services champion. At the time, he's the guy I fought for the national title. And that's a story I got in my videos. Oh, Bozo the Clown. Put my brother's shoes on for that fight. And they were size and a half too big. They were 11s and I wore a 9 and a half. He says, your shoes, I had them all rolled up in my duffel bag, and I unroll them and put them on my boxing shoes. I knew I could move around good with them and all that stuff. Oh, hey, wait, wear my shoes. I got brand new ones. You'll look good in there. That's what you got to do. You got to look good for the judges and stuff. I let him talk me into it. I didn't know anything. No, I put his shoes on. The bell starts ringing. Ding, 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 ding. And I go, oh, I got to get up there. Come on, Nixon, you're on. I'm fighting Henry Johnson. Marvin Johnson is the middleweight champion of the world's older brother, all services champion. I'm fighting him for the national title in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, that was me. Oh, that story. I get up off the seat and I take a couple steps and I'm flippity flopping like Bozo the Clown. I'm going, what the heck, Mike? What size feet do you have? No time for that. Come on, get up here. Bell's ringing. Get in the ring. No time to change my shoes. Get by my regular shoes. So I go flippity flopping up to the ring. I flop into the ring. Now I got a Mike Tyson left hook that will put you down on the ground. I've put heavyweights down with. And I was saving it for this fight. This is my fight. I'm going to win the national title. Watch. Now I get in the ring. The bell rings. I come right out and wham! I hit him. I couldn't believe it was so easy to hit. And he was like, la. Mike says, get him, Bill, get him. Get him, you got him. Get him. I was going to rip that left hook into his side. I would have broke every rib in his body with that left hook. I think he hit a hard punch. Middleweight. I punched like a heavyweight. It's all muscle, everything. No, I leap forward to give the big punch, and I flop on my face. Down I went. And he's throwing a jab at the time. And down I went. And the referee comes over and he grabs me, looks at me, and he goes, "No, that's it. No more. No." What? Oh, I got ripped from the national title. I got ripped on the national title. They knew I was going to put the champion on his butt. They knew I was going to do it, and they're going to stop the fight quick. That's what they did. And I got ripped. In the long run, I didn't get ripped. I would have turned pro. I would have been a professional fighter. I would have been standing around wondering what's going on. Because I'll tell you, I had my time once. I fought Rocky Cudney in Buffalo, New York. And I did the same thing. I came out, and oh, what a story that was. I had won the Golden Gloves the year before, and I ran around the ring with a crucifix and a flag. American, being brave, the American way, and opportunity. Christ in my corner. Christ, victory, American flag. Jesus. I ran around the ring after I won the Golden Gloves with that. The priest heard about that, Monsignor, and he was furious that I brought the crucifix into the ring with me and ran around after I won a fight. He was going to teach me a lesson. So he's a Monsignor. He had Buffalo Boys Town. He was the big wig. I'm a young punk off the street corner. He's going to straighten my keister out. So what he does is he calls me up. He says, "Bill," he says, "well, I'm having a tough time for the fights this year. Can't find anybody to fight Cudney. You won the Golden Gloves last year, and everybody thinks you're a pretty good fighter. And they'll come and watch a fight if Cudney fights you. Pack the place." I says, "Father, I haven't had half a dozen fights yet. All my fights are in the gym. I'm not his caliber. He's had 60 fights. He's the Pan American champion. And he says, he knocks everybody out. He had Mike Tyson's trainer, whatever his name was, old guy. But Mike Tyson's trainer trained Rocky Cudney to fight me in the big fight that we were going to have. Oh, I forgot what his name is. Customato, I think. Yeah, because he stood with Rocky, with his arm around Rocky, after the fight. He stood there with his arm around him, and they were both looking at me. And I didn't even know who he was, who the old guy was. I didn't know he was a famous fight trainer. And he trained Cudney how to throw that right hand, that sneak, boom, right hand, put you down real quick, knocking everybody out. Nobody could stay in the ring with him for very long. But I saw him get his butt kicked a couple times, though. Guys that knew how to box, guys that were good. I saw them kick his butt. Yeah, I did. Ned Smith from New York City. He was a fighter. I don't know whatever happened to him, but who knows what he got into in New York City. But he was a good fighter. And let me see, who else? So anyways, I told him, "Father, I haven't had that many fights. I'm no caliber for him." He says, "Well, I just thought you could do what you could do and help out the Boys Town and stuff. Help me out." And I says, I'll tell you what. For the Boys Town, I'll do it for the Boys Town. I'll come up, I'll fight him. And I figure he knocks me out. That's a big deal. At least the Boys Town made out pretty good. I gave a donation or something, whatever. Later on, I realized that Father didn't need the money from Boys Town, from the boxing. He didn't need that. He had stuff in that place, antiques and cabinetry. He used to take people around and show them all the beautiful things that people had given him, or how wealthy he was and stuff, you know. So, you know, he wasn't hurting. But I let him game me in, and he had a plan. Oh, wait to hear the plan. So I says, okay, Father. I says, I'll come up. Okay. How much you gonna weigh? I says, I'll try to be good weight. You know, I'll be up there. I got up there and had to spit and do all kinds of stuff all day long because I was 5 pounds overweight. Here I'm doing this guy a favor. You know, I'm doing that Boy Style favor. Well, anyways, they're worried about me in 5 pounds, and here I am, the underdog, up against somebody with over 60, 70 fights. You know. Oh. I said, okay, well, I didn't eat dinner that night or anything. I'm just trying to be mean and grawly and stuff. Because you got to have that killer instinct when you get in there. If you don't, every time I haven't had it, I always get beat. So I'm trying to gear my mind up. And I've been in the gym working out with a lot of guys, you know, pros too. And so the fight night comes out. Bell rings. We get up in the corner, and I get in the corner. I sit down, and Father Monsignor jumps up in the ring. He goes, "This is not a 3-round fight. This is a 5-round fight." And he's looking around, and he looks at me, see if I'm going to object or anything. And I'm thinking, well, it's only going to take me 1 minute or 2 minutes if I can get this guy good. I don't care if it's 5 rounds or not. I didn't say nothing. But he wanted to make sure that I was going to lose this fight. If I could dance, stay away from him, dance and jab and dance and jab and stay away for 5 rounds. Eventually, I'm going to poop out because I'm not professional. But I was in pretty good shape. No, that's 5 rounds. So, okay, so he sits down. So we get ready. The bell rings. I come out, and my power punch is my left. Right now, I hit you right here with that punch, and if I hit it hard, you're out cold, standing up. It happens so fast, and then I can get down and rip my left hook into your side, and down you go. There's guys couldn't even walk out of the ring after I'd done that to them. Like I said, what goes around comes around. So I get up in the ring, bell rings, and I come out. Now I'm left-handed, but I fight right-handed. See, so my left power punch is out in front, and they don't know it. And you only need 6 to 8 inches. Nobody knows I'm left-handed. They don't look. I know. And so I'm out there in front, and I got my left hand out in front. And when I came out from that corner, I timed it, and I threw that jab, a lunging jab, and I hit him right here, and he was in la la land. I had the fight. It was mine. And what'd I do? I stepped back. I said, "You okay?" Jesus, have mercy on my soul. Are you okay? I can't be a fighter. I can't be a fighter. When I first come back from Vietnam, I wanted to kill everything. I was just mad at the world and everything. But it was suppressed because I had gone through a miracle over there. I told God that if I was on this ship, this rocket launcher, it was the terror of the sea, puff of the sea, they called it. 16 rockets every 3 seconds. And there was friendly fire too. Everybody was on everybody else's throat because we all had to share bunks. There was 157 of us on a little dinky boat, and there's only room for 75 bunks. So when you're not on watch, somebody's sleeping in your bed. That's what happened to me. I had to scoot from bed to bed, finding a place to get my Z's, plus do my rocket one. Oh, I tell you in my movies, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You want? I'll tell you. It's there. All the things that happen. I don't want to even put myself through it again. Don't need to do. It's documented. If I become anybody after I'm dead, at least they'll have a written record of what happened to a Vietnam veteran. Just one Vietnam veteran. I'm not. Everybody's got their story. Everybody that went through Vietnam got worse stories than me, for sure. But friendly fire, all friendly fire, a lot of it. Friendly fire over in Vietnam. I got jacked up because I was sleeping in somebody's bunk, else's bunk. They didn't want me sleeping there anymore because I sweat. They didn't want to smell my sweat when I got into their bunk after it was my watch. I had to go leave, and they had to jump in their bunk. Oh, they wanted to kill me. Petty officer almost did that. Dropped a hand grenade while I was sleeping in his bunk, right next to my head, over the other side of the ship, but on the outside, while we're in Cameron Bay, he dropped a hand grenade. He had a whip. He told the whip, go throw that over the side over there. The whip's over there, and he's pulling the thing. Throwing that grenade over. Bam! We're trying to blow up any VC or anything like that because we're stationed in Cameron Bay, and we're loading rockets onto the ship in the bay. And divers, we have to keep them off bay. We have to put a big round circle of lights around the boat while we're humping all the rockets on the ship, and then we take back off, go up the river again. Another 5,000 rockets. 5,000 rockets we could put on that little boat. They were like a 10-inch. Yeah, 16 rockets every 3 seconds. We're talking about 3 foot, 10-inch. Taking off a rocket. 2 launchers. 2 rockets to each launcher. We had 4 launchers. 8 launchers altogether. 4 on one side and 4 on the other side. 16, 2 in each one. And they turn around. Turn around. That's the way they operated. It was amazing to watch that happen. And I was the guy that had to put out the ones that didn't take off. They get on the deck and spin around on the deck. Fire extinguisher, trying to put water on it, cool everything down. Then a guy with a big asbestos suit comes out. Silver Man, I used to call him the Silver Man. Remind me of being on Mars or something, or Moon. And he'd take the rocket, jam it out of there, get it up, lift it up, throw it over to the side. Oh, I don't know how many rockets we got thrown over the side that are still alive out there. Could go off. It's been a while, though. Jeez, we're talking 1969, 70. How many years ago was that? 30, 53. Oh, my goodness. Now it's North Vietnam, South Vietnam. No, it wasn't. We reneged. We let North Vietnam. We weren't going to go back in there. We said, well, we're going to take and protect South Vietnam. No, we didn't. We reneged and let them take it over. So now when you get something from Vietnam, it doesn't say North Vietnam or South Vietnam. It just says Vietnam. Oh, all that fight for what? Oh, all the innocence, everything, all the war. Oh, God punishes a nation with war. What were we doing in 1972? 65. What was going on in 65? Was that when abortion started? We started doing abortion around that time? Where it was legal? Or what? I don't know when abortion was legal, but anyways, there was a law against God's law. You got laws against God's law, and what do you inherit? Corruption and a war, because God punishes a nation with war. The only thing I gotta say about Biden is they say he used to walk around with rosaries around his hands. They didn't know what he was doing in the cellar during the election. He was down in the cellar and nobody knew what he was doing. I was wondering, is he saying the rosary? Yet, you know, he couldn't have been because he's for abortion. But yet, he's not doing anything to really edify abortion and make it so, at least I don't know what he's doing. But I sure hope the right man's in there. God's in charge. God is in charge. No, we don't have to worry about nothing. We just gotta watch. And that's all we do. We're watchers. Sometimes it's sad. Like the children in Kenya. Little Joey wants to get a bucket of water from Mommy, and Mommy tells him to come over and get the bucket, take your sister down and go get some water. Bring it back. I'll strain it, cook it up, and we'll use it for washing and cleaning. And they drink that stuff. Oh, God. I've seen in a fecal matter, I got a movie video that's associated with my site of a child being eaten by a crocodile. I mean, how do you do that? How do you find out if a child is going to be eaten by a crocodile or not? You need to look out, I guess. But what happened was that the crocodile got this one kid, and they had a family that was there, and they had a camera, a movie camera, and they filmed it. And all it did was show the crocodile, big, huge thing, dragging a kid around underwater. Oh, there's an arm. Oh, he comes around. Oh, he twists and turns and stuff a couple times. That's all you can get. I mean, but to really experience it, like little Joey went down. Those crocs, they know what's going on. They've been watching him for weeks. Where does he go when he gets his water? Oh, okay, I know what I'm going to do there. Calculating. I mean, we're talking about a dinosaur calculating how he's going to eat you. And I had one do that to me. That's another story in my videos. You go hunting in Florida, you're not the hunter, you're being hunted. And you don't know it, but you are. You're being hunted in Florida. And if you're not eaten by some big animal, the ones that you can't see get underneath your skin do drive you crazy. We used to call them no-see-me's. Because you'd be, what the hell is that? Oh. Bug got in your skin, drive you nuts. Mosquitoes. Oh, whatever they call those bugs, love bugs. Oh, all over the place. Mosquitoes. Oh, you go down to Boca Raton or down around Little Venice or something out where those piers are, and just go out there fishing one night. Don't take nothing with you and put spray on it. They'll pick you up, carry you right off the dock, bring you in, sit you down someplace. How many there are? Oh, God, tear you apart down there. Oh, that's what happened to me when I first went to Vietnam. They says, oh, here, put this stuff on, put it on you. and make sure it will take the varnish off an M16, so watch out. Use too much of it or anything. Okay. So, what's he talking about? And then wherever in the Philippines, your bunk automatically has a net comes down, mosquito net, and you put down, and when you go to sleep, and you wonder why are you gonna? Well, they get in somehow. They get in. They're already in there. Boy, you get one of those great big ones biting you. Man, does that hurt? It's like a spear going in you. Boy, does it hurt. It's not like a mosquito bite around here. These bites, they slip it in there, put their juice in, and bleh, man, it hurts and itches and everything else. So I plaster my face and everything. I got it all over me. I'm laying there in the bunk. Nobody's bothering me. Middle of the night. Temperature's about 100, 105. Sweating. So I'm sleeping. I wake up, I'm sweating. Ran into my eyes. Guess what? It's in my sweat. The mosquito repellent. Take the finish off of M16 in my eyes. I'm blind. I can't see nothing. I'm screaming and hollering. Everybody's already gone to town. They're on leave. There's nobody at the bunks in the bunkhouses. It was that dormant time. Very few guys come in, and one week it's packed, and next week there's nobody. And that's the way it was with me. I was in an airport, Clark Air Force Base. I flew into, and then I stayed in Subic Bay with my battleship while I was a rocket launcher. And hurricane, the first day we went out to sea. Hurricane, 50-foot waves. I'm steering the ship. I just got on the ship. They're breaking in a new bosun's mate. Well, here's a good time to break them in. Left degree. Aye, sir. 15 degrees left. Oh, aye, sir. 15 degrees left. I'm waiting for commands. He's the captain of the ship telling me what to steer the ship. I'm a bosun's mate. And then, thank God, I finally got out of that because I hated paint. The bosun's mate, all I do is clean the ship, paint. I didn't like that. I was a welder. So they found out I went to welding school. I went to welding school. I knew how to weld. They put me in engineering. Changed my whole, from stuffing the rockets into the launcher, from being on top of the deck with binoculars, putting them out with a fire extinguisher if they don't take off. So which one's worse? I grew in status, but not smarts. I didn't have the stupidity. God, you had to be pretty brave, I guess. Or just out of it. So what? The bomb, it could explode. Well, so what? That type of attitude. Oh, 19 years old. Boy, there's no atheists in foxholes, though. And there's no atheists in raging typhoons either. Because it's a typhoon when it's in the Pacific. Hurricane when it's in the Atlantic. Typhoon Genesee, 50-foot waves, steering that ship. We're a flat bottom. We're not a V. We're a flat bottom boat. We're going up the river. We don't have a big V deep wall. We float on top. And so the waves, they take you up 50 feet, and then you start going down the wave, and you think that you're going to just go, out. You don't. You keep going as you're going down the waves, take you up, and then you're going down the wave, and you go into the water, and it bounces you back out. And then the next wave takes you up, and you're going down into the water. And instead of going down, you go down deep into the water, and it bounces you back out. The water. Flat boat. Flat bottom boat. And I got to go across the China Sea. in a hurricane. I'm not a typhoon. 50-foot waves. Boy, I'm telling you. And I'm sicker than a dog. I should have learned my lesson when I was a kid. I couldn't ride in a car. If you're car sick when you're a kid, don't join the Navy. Not unless they can guarantee you're stationed someplace where you got 2 feet on the ground. Because if you got motion sickness in you, a lot of people, they don't have it. Well, I had that motion sickness. I puked. My dad would drive from California to New York. He didn't know where he wanted to live. He was young. He'd rent a car. Somebody needed it back in New York, so he'd rent it, drive it back to New York with the family and everything. Drop it off, and then do his thing, get a job, get a car. Yeah, we did that quite a few times, too. Always the new kid on the block. That's why I was always a fighter. I was a fighter. I had to fight every place. My dad, the rent's better over there. Okay, go over there. I get a half a house for the same amount of money I'm paying for an apartment. I'll take that. Move. Not realizing that. I got to change the school. I got a whole new neighborhood. I got to adjust to everything. That's the way it goes. Status. My sisters, they didn't want to live in government housing projects and stuff. Surplus food. Okay, you brought up. No, you already heard it. You heard it. I'm not the only one. We all done that. But I hear other people's stories. They got a beautiful life. They got a beautiful wife. They had a beautiful ideal family. Went to church. Backed me, gave me allowance, good father to me, gave me good counseling, told me what was right, what was wrong. I didn't have any of that. I was a street kid. Grab it and brawl. That's what I was. And that's all I ever did was fight. And a lot of people didn't like me because I fought everybody. Everybody wanted to see me get my butt kicked. Because they were mainly just to see me get my butt kicked. Boy, I like to see that fight. Somebody gonna kick his butt, I like to see that one. Well, I saw it a lot of times. Get my butt kicked. And I did some butt kicking. And I got ripped off in a lot of ways too. Thank God that the things happening. Like I beat the Navy champion in Troy, New York. Way back in the early 70s. I think it was 73, 74, somewhere around there. Cove Green, his name was. And they arranged a title fight, Golden Gloves. Gonna fight the Navy champion, amateur, but he's the Navy champion. I don't know if they had certain divisions, but he was labeled as the Navy champion. So I said, he's got a title. I'm in the Navy. Let me see if I can be the champion. So I get up there. I got my best friend with me. Lynn, he's a pretty cool cat. Put up with a lot of crap from me. I don't know how he ever became my friend and put up with me. Anyways, his family was a little bit better off than me. I mean, his father had a good job, backhoe and crane operator, build bridges. They owned their own home. He had that type of, just a young kid, laughing, grinning all the time, just smiling all the time. He had a happy life. Sisters the same. His sister was the same, older sister. She always laughing and smiling. It was just their nature. That's the way they were. So they lived with downstairs with Grandma upstairs. Grandma could cook. Boy, on Thursdays, the spaghetti. When she cooked spaghetti, the whole neighborhood reeked of garlic and onion. Oh, you went, oh, I wish they would invite me over. And they did a couple times, too. Boy, that was the best time of my life. Benefits. I remember Lenny used to get a piece of bread. He'd go, he'd sneak into the sauce, open up there, dunk a little piece of bread. Oh, anticipating the spaghetti that night, you know. Whatever. They went out and picked dandelion greens. It was a side dish. Dandelion greens. And they had grapevines out back. They made their own wine. It's funny. We broke into it, 12 years old, 13, yeah, 12 or 13. And we're going to drink Grandma's wine. It was summertime, nothing to do. And we broke open the keg and we got drunker than a skunk. It was still bitter a little bit too, but it was sweet, sweet bitter. And I didn't take much. I was just 12 years old. I didn't know. I'm drunk. Lynn's drunk. This is funny because this is what happened. Hey, Lynn, man, we have a good time, man. He says, when I get married, I want you to be my best man. And he goes, likewise. And so we had a pretty good friendship, pretty good friends. And we did just about everything. And, oh, hunting, fishing. Oh, man. His uncles used to take us fishing on Saturday and weekends. And we used to get 50 trout. And they knew right where to go. And they knew that they brought the kids along and they knew, well, let's see how many kids we bring. 4? Okay, that means we get 40 trout. Because they're not going to catch any trout. So that's how they planned it. No, they didn't mind taking us along for the weekend. Just have us along so they keep all the trout. I mean, they used to smelt. There was some smell. Lynn's uncles. This one uncle, Frank, he punched you hard to make you. Yeah, that's how it really is. Yeah, whack. He give you a good one right in the shoulder, make you feel it. You're like that. Huh? So he was 12 years old. I was only 12, 13. But he used to call us up. Hey, I'm going smelting tonight. You want to go? Because you got a couple of kids. You know, I can have 8 quarts. He brings me. I'm not going to get 8 quarts. I'm lucky if I get a bucket. But he's going to get 8 quarts because he knows how to do it. He's got the big long poles and the circular pool, and somebody's hanging on to his belt line while he's leaning over with the pole, scooping the center of that swirling place where all these smelt are. And they used to, a water plant, they used to circle because it would suck in all the food and everything, and it was a good place for smelt to hang out. And he had it right down. He'd dip his stick down and come up with a full bucket just about every time. And he would put them in his boots, and he put them in cans, he put them in this and that. One time we got stopped. When we got stopped, he had more than all the kids he had with him. He even had more than that. And so he's getting, the guy's got his own cans, and he says, okay, there's your 8. Now, what's all this? Oh, that's for him. That's for him. And okay, he fills it all out. Okay, yeah. And what's all those? And he never saw the ones that were in the guy's boots. His waders. He filled his waders up with smelt. Stuck him in the car. That's how this guy was. No, anyways, I kidded him about it in years to come. We kidded about it. But I wouldn't eat the smelt that he stole. I would eat smelt that he was stealing. He was getting way over his limit. And I was fresh
Good God, I was just, what was I? I must have been in my 20s still. He called me up to go smelt because he was being dishonest. And I didn't want any of his dishonesty. I didn't want any of the smelt. I said, you keep all the smelt. I don't even know. I know which ones are legal and which ones aren't. I said, no, you get your smelt. So I took my smelt. I brought them home and I buried them in the backyard. And I'm telling you, we had the biggest tomatoes and the biggest garden that year. The tomatoes were huge. I didn't figure out what the heck I did. I buried all them smelt in the yard, in the garden in the back. Because I wasn't going to eat them. But man, oh, that's what you got to do. You go smelting and you come back and you put it in your garden. And man, you get, oh, jeepers. That's the secret of having a big, beautiful garden, people. That's old timer telling you that now. You want to do that? I used to go get my own Dobson too. I used to go with a big net. I'd make a box, 2x4s, nail them together, put a screen on the back, a little mesh screen, about the size of your eye, and then a potato fork. You go in the river. You go down river 5 feet, and I'm up river, and I'm scraping the bottom. And the river is taking that right. You go right where all the dust is going. Wherever the dust is going, you got your little screen, and you bring them up. There you are, tops. Sometimes 6, sometimes just 1, sometimes a dozen of them if you hit a nest. You got them. You've got a good day's fishing ahead. That's for sure, because that's what. Last time I went fishing was with a friend of mine, Sam, and we went in my boat, and we got Dobson, and we went and did everything. We got it right from scratch, and it was a good day. We put them Dobson on, and we went farthest you can go up the river in my boat. We came into this thing that opened up. A lot of creeks were running into it. You can't get there. You have to go through a golf course to get to the place, or go on the river to get to it. That's how we did it. Went up the river, and or you had to know somebody to get through their property and so you get down to the river in that area. But since the boat was up there, and we went Dobson, we killed them. Oh, we put it on. No sinker, just throw it out there. Let them scoop. Wham! Big ones. I got pictures of them on the internet. Nice big 3-pounders. That's pretty big for around here. Smallmouth bass. Smallmouth bass, 3 pounds, 4 pounds. Pretty good size fish. When you get those, oh, I remember. I used to take my nephews and stuff to go get Dobson and crabs and all that. It was quite a day. Right? I don't know what happened to that. Got away from it somehow. When they were young, I remember my nephew. Took him. We were gonna go bass. He's got my godchild. We were gonna go bass fishing or go fishing. Go get big sand. See if you can catch big sand. Oh, I'd take him down, and I knew there was this nice big hole. There was a great big carp in there. Big sand. We went out and got crab and stuff. So we had that we did too. And take the crab, add in the crab, put it on the hook, throw it out there. Sure enough, wow! My little nephew, 5 years old, 6 years old, somewhere around. What am I going to do, Uncle Bill? I got this big fish. He's fighting and fighting and fighting. Finally, after quite a while, he got it in. He had it hooked perfect. Right up through, and it was hooked. And he pulled it out, and it was the biggest carp. Boy, it was huge. I says, you can't eat that. It's too big. We're going to have to let him go. Okay. We didn't have a camera. I wish I would have had a camera. Anyways, we didn't have a camera, so we let the fish go. Big Sam, so he's got that in mind. Time we caught Big Sam. So those are good things. Things that I did for my nephews when I was in charge, I guess. Well, I think this has gone long enough. I'm going to take and revamp now. I'm going to get my music together now. It's right around, oh my goodness, it's that late already? 7 o'clock. How can it still be light out? Well, okay. I'm going to have to get a little bite to eat too, because I've been fasting all day. I haven't had anything to eat. I had a half a sandwich from this morning, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I get something going in my stomach, so I don't have the acid. I have an acid stone system, acidic, so I have to take apple cider vinegar in the morning to equal out it and make my system alkaline. Cancer doesn't like an alkaline environment as much as it likes an acidic environment. So, one of the benefits of having an alkaline. And they got these new organic apple cider vinegars now that have all the ingredients already put into them. They're talking about cayenne, just different things, turmeric. You know, there's different things that you don't normally get in an American diet. So, and they want a little bit of honey in there, some lemon juice, and different things to make up. But it's already in the bottle. You can buy it right now at the store. Organic apple cider vinegar with all the ingredients in it. I recommend that for everybody. Take a teaspoon, couple teaspoons in the morning, along with some nice sweet juice or something. After you take a teaspoon and drink it, then take the juice right after it. It will null effect. It does get kind of vinegary, kind of like. I have apple cider. Let's see. I have apple cider vinegar, but I have a vegetable juice that has fruits in it too. Bolt House puts them out. They've got the green and the red and the orange. Orange is the carrot. That's my favorite. I call it the nectar of the archangels. Because if the archangels were going to have a drink, that's what they would probably drink. That stuff is delicious. Bolt House puts it out. And then there's a couple other companies that do it too. But they're the ones that I use mainly. And it's not cheap. It's $9 a quart. But it's concentrated. You take 4 ounces of vegetable. It's like you put a whole big thing in a vegetable juicer and juiced it all up and everything and reduced it down and all that stuff. You have 4 ounces of concentrated vegetable and plus green fruit, whatever. So the carrot juice is what I'm doing. That's what I'm heading for that, doing that right now. I'm going to have a little something to eat. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit my music. Hopefully I've got it all set up right. I'll soon find out. I almost did it last night, but I got so tired I just started falling asleep. I'm not in the mood to sing right now. But today I'm feeling better. I'm going to get up and get a little bit of some juice in me, and maybe a sandwich or something. Come back and sit down and bring you some entertainment. I hope to finish a couple of my songs tonight. Let's see what happens.